Perfect. Okay, guys, happy end of 2022. Today is Thursday, December 29th, 2022. We made it. Yay! We've made it through this crazy year. And I'm just so grateful to be sharing this space with you, this Crystal Fused community. Thank you, Kelly, for creating this for us and for giving us all an opportunity to what you were just talking about, to dive in, to connect with our soul, our whole self. We're not just our bodies. We're not just our names. We're not just our Instagram handles. We are so much more. And as we move into 2023, I'm just so excited to share about this idea of turning your one day into day one. And for me, I came from California. I was born and raised in California, and I knew one day I would live in Hawaii. And I did as many things as I could within my power and within my control to get here. And yet none of it really happened until I completely surrendered my plans and let the plans unfold for me. And so for those of you who have this big, bright, shiny, colorful, abundant, wealthy, healthy, joyful vision for your life, it's possible. I'm here to tell you it's possible. And because it came to you, you are the one who is meant to manifest it, to bring it into existence from the thought realm into the physical. It is up to you to do that for yourself. Okay. Not every vision comes to every person. And so if you have this one day I will, which for me was one day I will live in Hawaii, what is it for you? Okay, so we're going to dive into that and turn it into your day one. This is not January 1st yet. We don't have to wait until the calendar catches up with us. We are the ones living our life. So we are the ones creating it. We create our reality. Yes? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to bring us through our ground and center, which I do at the beginning of every training, every coaching call, everything that I host and lead. Yes. Okay, awesome. So get into positions. And if this is your first time here, or if you're watching the replay and you've never done a ground and center, I will walk you through the preparation process for it. You're going to sit in a chair or on the ground, and you're going to do something a little bit silly. You're going to take your thigh meat and open it out so that we can allow our physical bodies, our sit bones, to carry our weight. I hear yes, yes. I love Lisa Nichols. And what we're doing here is we are aligning our physical bodies, our vehicles, with our infinite spiritual, energetic selves, and allowing ourselves to merge, to integrate, and to be one in this. So once you're in position, sit in your chair, close your eyes, and just relax into your body. Okay, and I will guide us through this ground and center. And what we're doing together is we're going to take 3 deep breaths. So breath number 1, inhale through the nose and release out the mouth. Breath number 2, inhale through the nose and release out the mouth. And breath number 3, full inhale in through the nose and hold at the top. And slowly release out the mouth. Keeping your eyes closed and acknowledging this pocket of time we just created together. Let's take a few moments and sit in this present moment. Giving your body an opportunity to thank you for focusing your powerful energy onto your physical being, reflecting quietly in the back of your mind on this year we call 2022, and giving gratitude for every up, for every down, and for every person that we had the opportunity to meet. And with our eyes closed, I invite you to place both of your hands on your heart, feeling your heartbeat, the one that brought you from January 1st, 2022, and will bring you through and beyond January 1st, 2023. Sharing this beautiful energy with yourself, your center, and giving gratitude to everything that you will touch, every person, every place, every idea, and just giving gratitude for all the opportunities that we have right in front of us. Let's go ahead and breathe that in. Inhale through the nose. And audible sigh, release it all and release your hands, release out the mouth. Go ahead now and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move, shift, sway your body, roll your head. And you come back to today. When you're ready, go ahead and open up the eyes and come back to our Zoom. And go ahead now and share in the chat, or when you come to, share in the chat how you're feeling and anything that came to you in that ground and center today. And for me, when we reflected on 2022, I saw a completely different Lizel. I don't know how many of you guys see a completely different version of yourself. Yeah, I see we have people, Kelly's feeling relieved. Yeah, that's some stress, definitely. And that's literally the point of grounding and centering yourselves. I do these to guide you, but I also invite you to do this on your own, because it just brings us back to us. This feeling of just feeling more relaxed and like more in the present moment brings us closer to truth and farther away from anxiety. We are not anxiety. We are not stress. We are not the to-do list. We are the energetic being that is using these bodies to do the work of manifesting our visions into reality. Ooh, she just reached her higher self. Yeah, that's what we call integration. Yes. Ooh la la. Yeah, so imagine what your life, your business, your relationships, your health, your finance, your mental state, your emotional state. Imagine what all of those things could look like if you brought yourself through your own ground and center on a regular basis. If you can feel like this right now, after however long that was, maybe 3 minutes, imagine what will happen if you did this every single day. And as you guys know, these calls are recorded and put on YouTube. So if you wanted, you could just replay and watch it and bring yourself through it with the recording guiding you. Ooh, feeling stress-free. Awesome. Yeah. I love this, because this, after the ground and center, you're so much closer to manifesting. You're so much closer to living that life that you were born to live. You're so much closer to living in alignment with your truth and your values. And that's the whole point of this community, to bring you into that safe space so you can move forward. You don't have to live with that fear of being judged and that fear of being rejected and all of that. This is the space for you to come to grow, expand, and create, manifest. Yay. Awesome. You guys are such a blessing. Okay, So I want to share a little bit about turning your one day into day one. And really, it begins with having a vision. So how many of you have a vision? Maybe it's a dream that you had, or a thought, or it's just this picture in your mind of this thing that you're going to achieve one day. And this vision, this dream can be quantified. It could be like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to have 3 kids, or I'm going to, insert the thing here. The more specific it is, the better. And the better you feel about that specific thing, the higher the energy you can use to create it. What I want to ask you guys too is in your notebooks, I have a few questions that you can write down, and we're going to take a couple of minutes today to answer them. So in your notebook, go ahead and write down today's date, Thursday, December 29th. If you're watching the replay on another day, write the date that you're watching this. And I want you to answer this question. Write it down and answer this question. Why do you work? Why do I work? Why do you work? Maybe you're not working. Maybe you're a student. Why am I in school? Why am I taking classes? Okay, write down that question. And go ahead now, take a minute and answer it. Let your subconscious, let your conscious, let it flow out of your hand, and go ahead and answer that question, while I will also answer my question over here. Give you a timer. 60 seconds, please. Okay, 60 seconds are up. Stop. Okay, now that you're looking at that, maybe some of you are finishing up. Question number 2. Let's write that, number 2. Number 2 question is, what do you gain from your work? What do you gain from your schooling? Oh, okay, go ahead and do the timer. 1 minute, go. What do you gain? Okay, good job. Okay. Woo. Okay, so we answered 2 questions so far. Number 1, why do you work? Why do you go to school? Number 2, what do you gain from your work? Or what do you gain from your school? We have 2 more questions, okay? And then question number 3, is. What are the consequences? It's a long word. What are the consequences? Yes. If I repeat, what are the consequences if I repeat 2022? Ready, set, go. I feel you. We're getting some hell no's in the chat. Same here. With like a lot of H's. Hell no. What are the consequences if you repeat? Okay. Okay. Woo, number 3. Okay. Are you ready for number 4? Are you ready for number 4? This is the last question. Number 4, we're looking at turning our one day into day one. Question number 4. What are the benefits? What are the benefits? What are the benefits if I evolve in 2023? Woo-hoo! Okay, 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Oh, I am getting chills. That's you guys. Go, 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 go. Woo. Okay, pens down when you're done writing that bullet point. You can always add to it later. You can always rewatch this too and do it again. So I want to know, I actually want to open up the call right now, and you guys can unmute, and I want you guys to share what you wrote. Like what was your takeaways? How did you feel? What was this exercise like for you? And just go ahead and unmute when you want to share.
Can you repeat the question again?
What was your takeaway? How was these 4 questions for you?
These are amazing. The one that terrified me the most was number 3.
Yeah, right?
I would definitely say this is a great reflection for, and this wasn't just no ordinary like Sunday evaluation, but this was more like a eye opener of all the things that we learned. And I'm grateful that you brought this exercise because it helped me really reevaluate the things I really want to work on for 2023, especially the opportunities I definitely don't want to miss. Because to me, the worst thing about repeating 2022 in 2023 is missing the opportunities that the universe aligned for me that could come across one time. And if I'm not ready, but the opportunities are, that to me is the most terrifying. So
Oh,
thank you for this exercise.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for doing it and for sharing. And this is something I do in my group calls. Everybody put your glitter fingers up and we're going to give Sierra glitter fingers. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Call is open.
I'll share. It's so much better when you write things down on paper. So thank you for bringing this exercise to us and actually like visually seeing, you know, like how we feel and like answering questions and like writing them down to physically see how we feel too. So for me too, I mean, to look at the negative and the positive with like, what are the consequences versus like, what are the benefits? I'm so big on like writing lists of like pros and cons, like even with like exes, if I'm like thinking if I'm in a relationship and it's starting to get toxic or whatever and I'm not happy, I like to write like, okay, what are the pros and cons of like this person, or like what are the pros and cons with like my relationship with this person when it comes to like friendships too. So like to see the pros and cons of like if I was to stay the same or if I was to evolve was like so good to like visually see. Definitely like some consequences if I was to repeat 2022, like I'll share is like I would stay the same. And that's one thing for me that like I fear like staying the same. So I'm always on the path of like learning new information so that I can evolve, which is why I love reading books and like listening to podcasts and motivational stuff. So definitely I would stay the same. There would be no growth. I would still have toxic relationships in my life. And those are all things that like are consequences of like staying the same. So to see that and then to see the benefits of like, okay, I would be a higher version of myself if I evolve. I would attract healthy relationships. I would have more money and success. I can help more people. I would be happier. I'd have an abundance of like my desires. So like I'm ready for the evolved 2023. We are definitely not repeating 2022. Amen.
Hell no. Yes, amen. Thank you, Kelly. Glitter fingers for Kelly. Thank you for sharing.
Cute.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share their quick reflection of this exercise? You're free to share. And if not, all good. Let's go back to the content here. And so I'm so happy to share these questions with you because these are actually questions I'm going to be sharing next week in some of these live presentations that I'm doing here in Hawaii with some sales teams. And I love that these questions not only work for people in business and not only work for things around business, but it's so perfect for the new year because we are the people who are working in the business, or we are the people who are in school. And so these questions really center around the person. And as we move into 2023, I want you to realize that even though something feels like it's outside of you, like this vision that you have in your mind, it's now time to take away that separation from you being here and that being over there, and realize that the vision, the plan, the success is already a part of you because you already carry it inside. So give yourself permission to take those actions and not repeat last year, but let 2023 be your red carpet into this future. Yeah, let it be your red carpet and walk into 2023 starting today, like starting December 29th. Start today, and whatever your vision is, get your 2023 planner or get your virtual calendar and plan something. Let's say, maybe for February, you can start in February if you want, something in April, something in June, that's gonna bring you closer to achieving that goal, to living that dream, to making that 6-figure passive income, Okay. So whenever you feel like your mind is going to get in the way or you just don't feel like it today, just pull up your sheet with your answers and review it again and let your truth speak to you in those moments when maybe you feel alone, or maybe you don't feel good enough, or maybe you feel like, what's the point of all of this? Okay. And again, you can do this exercise again and again. And yeah, so I hope that this exercise and this little chat today was helpful in kind of lighting the fire under your butts to really take 2023 by both hands with love, with joy, with gratitude, and know that it's already yours. Ginormous energy for 2023. Yes, absolutely. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for participating. Thank you for writing with your hands and paper and putting it pen to paper. That's super, super powerful. Yes. Oh, Sarah, I already see you driving that shiny white car. We'll have matching keychains. I know it. All right, ladies, thank you so much. And now I'll pass it back to Kelly. She'll talk more on stepping into, that one day, and then also on our crystal of the week, which we are ending this year with. So thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Let's drop a 1 for Lizel in the chat. She did so great. Honestly, like, this space is so special. Like, you don't always see people getting together to elevate our minds and get better and like share our knowledge and wisdom. So I always appreciate this space. And the 3 main things I'm going to talk about with starting now is just 3 things: to stop with the excuses, release the fear, and the best days to start today. So I'm going to elaborate on all 3. And something that we always do as humans is we make up little excuses, or like we'll have little tasks and like we take our little tasks with a grain of salt because they're so little, and we fail to realize that like how you do anything is how you do everything. So I'll give you guys an example. Like, when I was like super actively building my business, I felt like I always had the excuse of like not going to the gym. And you guys have probably seen on my social media, I've been really consistent with the gym for the past, I think it's 5 weeks now. And it just made me realize that this whole time that I've been having this excuse of like, I'm too busy building my business to work on my health, because exercise, the reason why I exercise is so that I can be healthy, so that I can feel strong, so that I can have high energy levels and not feel lazy and slouchy. And that's why I work out. I don't care about the scale. I don't care about the number. For me, it's more of like how I feel when I work out. Now, if I miss a day, I feel weird that like I didn't move my body and that I wasn't active. But it's so crazy that this whole time I knew this, and I know this because I used to work out like crazy before the pandemic. But then I had the excuse of the pandemic of like not working out. And then I had the excuse of like, it's not the same feeling like not going to the gym and working on a home. That's an excuse. And then I got some weights, and then I just had the excuse again of like, it just doesn't feel the same. I need the gym environment. That's what I was saying to myself. I need the gym environment. I need to see other people working out. And maybe you guys can't relate with this in regards to the gym, but maybe you can relate with it with like something else in your life that you always constantly have excuses for. And it's like those little things where it's like, it's so easy to not do it because it's so little, but it makes such a big difference when you do. So I started doing, like, when I started working out just now consistently recently, I was only doing 20 minutes cardio. But in those 20 minutes, I was going like high intensity. I was doing like a 14 incline and like speed 3.8. But I told myself I can time block 20 minutes a day to work out. And then I would do like 15 minutes like weights. But some days I would just do like my 20 minutes cardio. And that little thing that I kept delaying and making an excuse of has now made such a difference in my life now that I started doing it, because I actually lost a lot of weight and I didn't care about that, but I feel better. I feel like more high energy. I feel like I can like move my body no problem. Like I feel like the high energy levels. And like it's so crazy how like that little, like getting rid of like that excuse, or even for example being consistent with our affirmations. We talk about it all the time, like expressing gratitude, having a journal where we write down. I like to write down, a good way to start is just writing 5 things you're grateful for and 5 affirmations. That doesn't take up much of your time, maximum like 10 minutes max to like write these things down, or 5, like honestly 5 minutes max. And that makes such a big difference. Like you will see how you feel once you have like a full journal of like things that you're grateful for and like things that you're affirming into existence. So like stop with the excuses of this and that, because when you truly want something, you'll prioritize it. You will find a way. Back in the day, do you guys remember when you were 16, 17 and you had a party to go to, but you had a test the next day? But you're not going to make an excuse to not go to the party just because you have a test the next day, to apply that to everything else in your life, because you made that a priority, because when you're a kid, that was important to you, going to that party. So no matter what, you're going to go, but you're still going to show up in class and take that test. So if we just think this way, like there's so much abundance that like will attract, and like things that will start to align once we like drop those excuses. And then another thing that delays people starting day one is their fear of your fear of either of the unknown. You know, we as humans, we fear the unknown. We're like, okay, like if I do this, what I've been procrastinating on and making excuses about, like, what are people going to think? Am I going to be successful at it? Am I going to be consistent with it? Is it going to work out for me? Like we fear, like we don't know what's going to happen, but you will never know. And it will never be the right time. It's just, you have to decide that I'm just the same way that I decided I'm going to start consistently working out. I decided, even though I didn't know if I was going to be consistent or not, I was like, okay, like, let me just say it and do it. I dropped that fear. And a good tip is like to hold you accountable to what you're saying is like tell people, and tell a lot of people. And when you tell a lot of people what you're going to do, you almost feel embarrassed when you don't do it. So then it holds you accountable to like actually do it, because you're like, shit, like I told so many people I'm going to start going to the gym, and like, bro, I went like once this week. You're going to feel like shit. Versus like, you know, like if you weren't to tell people, you won't really feel like shit, because no one really knows what you were going to do. But when you tell a lot of people, it almost makes you feel guilty for not doing it, which holds you accountable to like actually do it. So that's a good little tip that I've learned along my journey, is like when I'm setting a goal, I like to tell a lot of people about it so that it holds me accountable to actually do it. Whether you go on your social media and state it, or like you text your 5 friends that like, this is what you're going to do, or you tell us in the chat, this is what I'm going to do, that holds you accountable to like actually do it. So we're here for you. If you want to drop it in our chat, whatever it is, you guys know the support is there. So the fear, let me see what else I have along with fear. People fear the unknown, and people fear failing. A lot of people fear failing, right? Like, but I want you guys to look at failure as like your friend. Failure is your teacher. Failure is your friend. So don't fear not being good at something, because at the end of the day, it's never a loss. It's a lesson, and a lesson can never be a loss. So like at the end of the day, failure is we're trained in school and programmed in school to think like failing is bad. Don't fail. Like you're looked down upon, like consequences, you're grounded, like if you fail. But in real life, in order to succeed, you have to fail. And I'll give you guys another example within my within my jobs. So like growing up, like right after I graduated high school, I never went to post-secondary, never went to college, I never went to university. I got right into sales jobs. And I used to change jobs every 4 months. And my parents would tell me all the time, like, I was a failure in their eyes. Like, what the F is wrong with you? Like, they wanted to shake me and be like, why can't you just stick with one job so that you can be able to retire? And then, but my thing, I was always like, I don't believe in working minimum wage. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't believe, like, I don't know why as a teenager, I always thought like this. I was always like, I like getting paid on my performance. I like commissions. I like that when I make a sale, I can make extra money because it's based off of my performance. And I know I'm a hard worker. So I know I'm going to make sales and I know I'm going to make more money. So that was my thing. But in my parents' eyes, because I was switching jobs every 4 months, because I'd try a company and I wouldn't like it. So I would fail. Like, I would learn things, but I would fail. I wouldn't make money. So I would try the next thing. And I'd tell my parents, oh my God, we're going to be rich. Da, 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 da. I'm going to make so many sales. And then I'd fail again and like not make money. And then it was a cycle for honestly, like probably 2 years. But through all those failures, through all those companies that I tried, I learned so much with the psychology of sales, with social selling, with communication skills, with sales in general, with marketing, with like certain words to use, with objections, handling objections. Like, I literally learned so much, and so much about different products, right? Because I was selling so many different products. I learned so much of different industries and their services, that when I started in my Monet business, I launched and I was so successful, and people saw that, but they didn't see that I had 2 years of failure. So people saw like, me do well, but it's like, if you guys only knew how much I failed and how much like crap my parents would talk about me, like calling me a failure and all this stuff. But it was all preparing me to be where I'm at today. So I want you guys to look at failure as like your friend, failure as like your teacher. When you need to fail in order to succeed. You can never just succeed and not fail. So don't be afraid of failure. Like, your fear of failure needs to just drop and just eliminate fear, release fear. And then the best day to start is literally to like right now, like decide right now, this very minute, that you are going to drop the excuses and release fear. If you can do those two things, eliminate excuses and drop fear, and decide that right now you are going to do whatever it takes, whatever you need to do to get to your goals, regardless of how you feel, regardless if it's raining, regardless if you got your time a month, like, you're going to decide today that you're going to stay dedicated with no excuses and with no fear of failing. You will fall forward, like when you fail, fall forward. It's never a loss. It's always a lesson. So the best time to start is like right now. And if you're telling yourself otherwise, it's a lie. You're telling yourself a lie. If you're telling yourself, no, Kelly, right now is not a good time because I have this, and this going on. I know life is not easy. Life is always going to hit us with like some struggle, some problem, some obstacle, some shitty situations, but you have to decide that no matter what outside circumstances are happening, you can control only what you can control, which is yourself and your attitude and your actions. So if you just keep a positive attitude, no matter what life throws at you, which that's one of the hardest things, is like shitty situations happening and you having to figure out how to keep a positive attitude. It's really hard to do that. But once you can learn to understand that life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Like, this shitty situation is happening because I need to get stronger within my mental, or because I need to be wiser with making certain decisions, or this shitty situation is happening because I asked for strength. So God or the universe is throwing things at me to make me stronger. Or, you know, you have to look at things in that light in order for you to be able to shine through, in order for you to be able to like walk over those obstacles, because obstacles are to build our character. Obstacles build our character. Like, who are you when something shitty is happening? Are you still the same person, or do you turn bitter, sour, petty, and do you go down that toxic route? Or do you rise above it and not let it touch you because you're solid and you're grounded and you know where you're going in life, and whatever this person is saying and doing is a reflection of them and who they are and where they're at in life. It has nothing to do with me. If someone is being negative towards you guys, it has nothing to do with you. If someone has a negative opinion, if someone has a negative outlook on something, or if you're talking to them about a certain idea and they're just like, I don't know about that, that's because they have their own demons that they're facing. And maybe they don't feel secure within themselves. They feel a little insecure. Maybe they feel like they could never do something like that. So they can't see it for you if they can't see it for themselves. So just understand that, like when people are bringing some sort of negativity to you, it has nothing to do with you. And take note of that too. You know, I like to take note of like, okay, who's saying what, and like which one of my friends are positive, which one of my friends, when I bring them good news, are happy for me, which ones like do I feel some sort of like jealousy or like weird vibes. I take note of that. Listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, never discredit it, because every single time I've discredited my gut, it has kicked me in the butt. Like, it has shown me that like my gut was right the first time. I'm sure you guys can relate. A lot of times, sometimes even when I was younger, my gut would tell me, don't go to this party. I would go to that party and a fight would happen, or I would lose my phone. That has most definitely happened to me, where I've gone out to a party where I knew I shouldn't have gone, but I went anyways, and like I lost my phone. And then I would be like, it would be a wake-up call, like shit, like I need to listen to myself, like I need to listen to my gut, because every time I don't, some consequence happens. Like Lizel was talking about, like consequences. So I'm so ready for this new chapter and this new year, and I'm going to drop the schedule shortly. I'm going to create it quickly and then drop it. We have some amazing topics, me and Lizel, for January, so that you guys start off the year with like momentum and like high vibes and like on your goals, and like, because you know everybody's like on that new year, new me type of vibe, but then after the second week it starts to kind of die down, and the third week and then the fourth week it's like they're back to like how they were the last year. So we want to keep that new energy and that like consistency and that motivation there. So every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have a different topic, which I will drop soon, so you guys can check them out. If you have any friends that you guys want to tap into this information, if you have any friends that are like kind of like, I don't know, maybe down, or if you have like some negative friends, you should be like, yo, tap into this community. They have calls on Tuesdays, like they're super positive and like goal oriented, like come listen in. It's like on Zoom, it's an hour. You don't have to be on camera. You can if you want. They love if you would, but if you don't want to and you're not comfortable, it's okay. Yeah, so every Sunday, if you guys want to participate, I would love if you guys wanted to participate. Every Sunday, me and Lizel are actually going to be talking on our stories about our call on Tuesday. So if you guys wanted to join with like promoting and tagging us, I'll repost anyone that talks about like Tuesday calls, and then that way that builds credibility for you guys too, so your friends can look up to you guys to be like, oh wow, like, you know, you're actually like cool with like Lizel, you're actually cool with Kelly, like she reposted you, like blah 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 blah, and you guys can repost, and then they start to see that like you're connected in this community of people, and they might just gravitate like more in that way. So I'm just super stoked to grow this community to a larger scale, and the fact that we are amongst the first over here, we're the foundation, like we are the ones that are showing up. You guys are going to grow like with us. We're going to grow to the top together. So let's crush it. If anyone needs any extra help too, Lizel has she has like her coaching like on the side. So if you guys wanted extra help, she's there. She has her programs and her services. If anyone needs that like extra push and stuff like that. So, but for now, you know, our calls are free every Tuesday and we will stay connected in the chat. Stay tuned for the new schedule. I love you guys and have an amazing rest of the night. Okay, take care. Bye, guys.